It is time now for bracket breakdown here with former Louisiana running back Emory Hunt. We are down to the final four, and let us start with the Cotton Bowl in Arlington. Ohio State against Texas. And Emory, I'm going to say this, because if the Buckeyes play the way they did against Oregon, crown them.
Listen, you talk about a lot of speed, number one. There's going to be speed on both sides of the ball, Hakeem. And when you talk about speed in the secondary and speed at receiver, both teams have that. Speed in the backfield, quartet of backs, both teams have that. Offensive line, that's where it gets tricky because we have Texas's offensive line, a little bit questionable, but Ohio State, you see they get their playmakers of football in space. They do a great job of making sure everyone gets a touch. And on defense, these guys are playing lights out a lot better than they did earlier in the season. Texas, we saw them do a fantastic job themselves in terms of converting on third downs, making big plays in crunch situations, winning in overtime. So they're battle tested, as is Ohio State. So this is going to be a fantastic game. A lot of speed, a lot of athleticism, a lot of NFL draft picks on both sides of the ball.
Throw the ball to number 4. Throw it to 4, okay? Jeremiah Smith, throw it to 4. Also, real quickly here, the defense, that conversation needs to be had as well, because the pass defense for Texas is formidable. Ohio State allowed the fewest points per game in all of FBS. So this is also going to be a defensive matchup as well.
I will say this. Texas had to play 2 very physical football games coming into this matchup. They had a physical matchup versus Clemson, a physical matchup that went to overtime versus Arizona State. So they may be a bit banged up, especially on the offensive line, coming into this ball game versus an Ohio State defensive front that's playing lights out, that has full health, ready to go, and they're getting off of the football. That's why I like Ohio State to win this matchup.
All right, so we're moving on. Ohio State, there we go. Look at that. Look at that magic right there.
Magic at the bowl.
It was right like that. We are on top of this. You know what I'm talking about? This is bracket breakdown here on CBS Sports HQ. All right, now let's go to Miami for the Orange Bowl. Penn State, Notre Dame, 9-9-1 all time against each other. How do they stack up against each other this time?
It's all about the point of attack when you're talking about Notre Dame and Penn State. Both teams are excellent along the line of scrimmage. That's why they've won so many games. That's why they are so tough to defend and also game plan against. So the offensive line of Notre Dame is going to be rock steady. The offensive line and defensive line of Penn State is going to be rock steady. How healthy is Abdul Carter is going to be key for Penn State in this ball game. Can Notre Dame win with their passing game if their run game is stopped? Can Riley Leonard continue to play above the X's and O's? Can Penn State's Drew Aller do a great job if the run game of Penn State is stopped and has to throw against this excellent Notre Dame secondary? So these teams are mirror images of one another. Both have excellent uniforms. Both can win in the same way, and both can stop you in the same way. So for me, this is a toss-up ball game. So we're talking about betting. Give me the under 46.5 right now. But we're talking about game picks, man. It could be a real serious matchup down there in Miami.
Well, and the line tells us how close this matchup is, inside 2 points in favor of Notre Dame. So who you got moving on here? Is it Penn State? Is it Notre Dame playing for a natty?
The difference is the third aspect of the game, special teams. We saw Notre Dame knock one out the park against Georgia with a kickoff return to help set the tone for the second half. I like the special teams of Notre Dame to be the reason why they move on to the national championship game.
There it is. Boom. Ohio State, Notre Dame playing for the national championship on January 20th in Atlanta.
Oof.
This is going to be incredible. If this plays out this way, it's Marcus Freeman, who is a star at Ohio State, going against Ohio State. Will Howard, they're coming back off of the loss to Michigan. 2 straight wins. If they can beat Texas, 3 straight wins off of that, who you got winning it all?
Well, think about the matchup. It's speed versus power. That's always going to make a great game. Can we slow down the game enough if you're Notre Dame? And can we speed up the game if we're Ohio State? Can we make this a track meet? Because we know that's where Notre Dame is going to have some issues in trying to slow down this explosive offense of Ohio State. They have the explosiveness in the backfield. They have the explosiveness at wide receiver, arguably the best player in the country in Jeremiah Smith. And you have a Will Howard that's playing lights out in the postseason, making some fantastic throws, some accurate throws deep down the field. So for me, and listen, I'm a power guy.
Yeah, you
but
are.
Speed is going to win out in this one. I like Ohio State winning that national championship.
OH!
I don't know what that means.
I-O.
Shout out to UL.
No.
I was going to say UL for Louisiana.
Someone yells out OH, you yell out I-O.
Okay, let's try it again. Do
OH.
I-O.
See, on the Buckeye bandwagon. Right there. Emory Hunt, you are official member of Ohio State. Right there. You're part of the Scarlet and Gray fans.
Even though this is a video, guys, just listen. Don't. I'm still UL all the way down, but I'm just telling y'all right now, Ohio State is super fast, faster than what you think, and that's going to be the problem for Notre Dame.
Bracket breakdown with Emory Hunt here on CBS Sports.
See how it got back?
OH!
UL.